found that a lot of people from Black, Asian, minority, ethnic communities weren't participating in mainstream grassroots sports for a number of reasons, one of which is the high financial barrier to entry, but also because of things like underlying racism that they might have suffered as they were younger when they were playing in these sports. So when we had a lot of these people together, we thought, you know what, let's just make it our own thing. We'll welcome everyone, of course, but let's just bring everyone in and have this platform that they can then decide how to run. We have so many different nationalities. So we have I think around 26 different nationalities that are actually playing with us now. And that they range from the Sudanese, the East Timorese, Swahilis, Nigerian, Palestinian, Somalis, Eritrean, Caribbean. There are like so many different nationalities that we've attracted because they can see that there's a good level of camaraderie around, amongst us. And that's been the whole the best bit about this project, is that we've brought people together and people who they didn't know each other as a community, but then when they started to play with each other, you could see that bond and that brotherhood starting to develop amongst themselves, and you could see it in their gameplay as well. So it was an amazing feat with a very diverse community in Oxford, where about 35% of our communities is from a Black or Asian minority ethnic background. And tradition and what we found is that a lot of the BIM communities are actually they unfortunately have you know, lower wages, or they're not in very secure positions for work, so they can't really have that, they can't really enjoy so much. I'm generalizing, of course, but they can't really enjoy so much playing with grassroots sports. Usually it is pretty expensive to join for them to buy their kits and to pay the cost of the fees and so on. And what we've done is that we tried to remove all of those barriers. If it weren't for this platform, they wouldn't be playing football. They wouldn't really be getting out. They'd just be continuing working and working and working. And we all know that's not good for your health. We all need a break at some point, and this is their break. During lockdown, we still kept in contact with a lot of the community, and because we had established these tight relationships with so many different sectors of society, we couldn't meet up, we couldn't play football, we couldn't do anything like that, but we did listen to some of the concerns that they had through COVID-19. And one of the main concerns was that they couldn't access food, or they felt that they couldn't afford food as much, or they had to choose between eating and you know, anything else, because there just wasn't enough money to go around. So on the back of that, then we established another organization, Oxford Community Action, where we then we now distribute to just under 400 families each week. So all those families that have that had a concern about accessing food or accessing anything really, we had our ears to the ground and we were listening, and that helped them through. The Black and Asian minority ethnic communities are quite nuanced societies, and if you don't understand or you don't have that kind of relationship with them, they won't approach you. So we found that a lot of a lot of our communities were not accessing services like food distribution, the mainstream ones, but they just didn't want to, or they felt shamed, or there was some sort of other factor which that no one had considered. So, but when they saw that it was coming from us, or so from people that they knew and they could trust, then they were more willing and open to accepting food and accepting help as well. That's made a massive difference to us, because we've been able to restructure and expand as well. So we have distributing food to about 400 families each week is pretty tough. It's a pretty big ask, and it's starting to cost us a lot, you know, in terms of having to buy the bags or the fuel, delivering as well, for all of those, to all those families. It's enabled us to further grow a little bit bigger, and to reach out to more people as well. So we've asked all of our community leaders and the people that we work with to identify even more people, so that we can then keep catering to even more families.